I had symptoms that people thought was a stroke. I was in hospital for 10 days. They tested me for multiple sclerosis, all sorts, really scary time for me, for the family. And they diagnosed a very unusual form of migraine called hemiplegic migraine, which basically causes paralysis, no headache, no normal migraine symptoms, and was pretty nasty. Took a long time to recover from it, but that triggered a period of a few years where I would go for weeks. I'd have low-level headaches pretty regularly, almost every day, and then something stressful would happen in my life, and that would trigger one of these crisis migraines, and then that would lead to 3 months of symptoms where I would just be exhausted to the point of I could hardly get through a day, really struggling to do my work, and with food cravings that were making me desperately ill. I couldn't go for longer than an hour without eating. If I did, I'd be almost sick. It could be reduced to tears from the sheer need of eating, the sheer need to eat food. Just my whole life was taken over by headaches and migraines, and it was just spoiling family life. And I thought I was possibly having to reduce my work, and I just couldn't cope. The impact of the migraines was that I was really struggling to get through work, and that was as much as I could do. So then I couldn't manage family life. I couldn't really spend time with the kids afterwards. I was having to go to bed straight after work. And then the impact of the eating to try and control the migraines was that my weight was just going up and up. And my self-confidence plummeted. I just didn't like the way I felt, the way I looked. And things were just, it felt like my whole life was dominated and defined by the migraines. It was two things I was trying to solve all the time. One was, how can I stop the migraines? So that was the usual thing through GPs, medication, different drugs, things not working. And then I was trying to how do I sort this weight gain thing? So I joined a gym where I could swim regularly. I tried doing things like running, just tried doing things that I could build into my routine that I could do myself. But all that would happen is I'd get another migraine, and I wouldn't be able to swim because I was just so poorly with it, and I'd fall out of that routine, or I wouldn't be able to run. So I'd keep trying to do things, and then the migraine would happen again, and it would all fall apart. And even when I was exercising, I wasn't losing the weight that I used to lose when I was younger. You know, I'd turn the other side of 40, and I used to be able to lose weight if I just tried hard, and it just wasn't going off, so I just felt terrible. It's funny that it's never one thing, is it? So I'd seen FAST on my Facebook feed. I'd been to the enterprise part here, and I'd seen the new facility for something else. I think I'd heard somebody talk about it, and just one day I was just feeling absolutely at the end of my tether. I didn't know what to do, and it just popped up on the Facebook at that point, and I thought, why don't I give it a go? I'd got to that stage where I thought, this is a combination of fitness and food, and I need something that is both. I've been trying to do them separately. And the whole FAST thing came up on the Facebook, where it was about, you've got to get your food right and the fitness around it. And I thought, maybe that's what I need. So I just called the number and thought, well, I've got nothing to lose, really. I was really intimidated. I've never been part of a gym. I've never worked out in gyms. I just thought, this kind of place isn't for me. I walked in, I felt really scared and just out of place. Thought it's going to be full of all these kind of fit, healthy people who knew everything about weights, and I'd never been able to kind of find my way here. And then I met with yourself, Ben, and sat down, had my 30 minutes, so I just poured it all out. And then it was when you explained, this is what's happening when you're eating, this is what's happening with your blood sugars, this is triggering headaches, blah, 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 and you put it all together. And it was like there were all these pieces and the jigsaw came together. And I went home and I said to my husband that for the first time somebody had looked at the whole picture, not just the one little bit that was immediately in front of them. And at that point I could have cried, because I just thought, for the first time there might be some hope that I can get my life back. So although I was scared, I was really excited, and I had that little bit of hope that it was worth going for. The struggle for me that I talked about right away from the start is that I work full-time, I have 2 kids, I have a house, so it was about how can I find some way of fitting this new regime into that. So that worked really well. The first key thing was actually timetabling stuff in a way that would work for me. And then I was given my coach Rich, and Rich explained that it's about doing one thing and doing it really well. So the very first thing was actually to concentrate on rebalancing the kind of foods I ate, and focusing on protein. So it wasn't about some fad diet or weird guju beans that you've never heard of, but it was about just less bread, more chicken, simple stuff. And then started scheduling in sessions in the gym. I could only do 2 because of my work, but 2 every week religiously. Not always the same days, but as long as I did 2, that was good. And that started to get some results. And then it was about building up some cardio stuff around that. So once I'd done my 2 days in the gym, could I start doing more walking? So I made a decision that I wouldn't drive all the way to work anymore. I'd drive part way and I'd walk the rest. And it was that combination of getting the food right with the regular gym time, and then maybe 4 days a week of the walking to work. I just started to get healthier, and the healthier I was, the better I felt. And after a few weeks, I started to think, I wonder if I could try running again. So I started just doing a little bit of quiet running with nobody noticing to see if I could do it. And then after I'd done that, I managed to do a 5K run, which was just, couldn't believe that I could do that. That was just not something I could have done in the past. I just built it up from there, and all the way through, Rich has just been absolute rock, because Rich knows when he needs to stretch you, when it's about do a bit more, you can do more. And then there was one week when work was really hard, and I just, to do hard work and then do hard exercise and hard eating just felt like too much. And he's like, we've got to that point, you just need to ease off a little bit. So he gave me permission at one time just to go easy on myself. Then we ramped it back up, and it's just been steady, nothing too dramatic, little incremental improvements, and now I've just massively changed the whole way I feel. And I haven't had a migraine in 5 months. I haven't had a headache in 5 months, and I used to have headaches daily. And it's transformed my whole quality of life. It's unbelievable. It's the way I feel. I've got my confidence back. I feel like I'm me again. It's the time I get with the kids now. I've got the energy. The migraines aren't dictating all my free time anymore. You know, I've got energy, I can play with them, I can run with them. We even go for family runs now. On a Saturday we do a park run together. And it's about just energy levels. With the side benefit of the fact that last weekend I went out and did a major shopping spree and I bought a whole new wardrobe because I'm feeling so good about my new shape.
That's amazing.